And now I have a word for it. It's a nervous system shutdown, and it's usually triggered by a traumatic experience. And in my job search, each time something traumatic has happened, each time I thought I was going to get something and I didn't get it, it's taken a week for me to recover. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It is your girl Anifa, and today I am going to be sharing all about my experience with long-term unemployment, because it has been a journey, it has been a struggle, and I just want to talk about what I've experienced, things that I see some people talking about, but I want to just share it on this platform and just put everything out there in one video. I have been unemployed since 2023. Honestly, I feel like I've been unemployed since 2022, but I'm just going to say 2023. I graduated in 2020, right during COVID, and I got an internship that was like temp, and then I also got a coordinator job that was temp. So like I never really secured like a permanent position straight out of college. And when I got my temp job as a coordinator, I just remember feeling so lost, trying to network within the company, nobody really caring. Like it was just like a big company, and like I didn't really have anyone mentoring me or anyone guiding me and helping me secure a job. And so instead of like continue to struggle, I was like, I'm going to go to grad school. So I went to grad school in 2022 in London, and I had a time. And at the time in grad school, I worked a part-time retail job. So that was like the last job that like I actually applied to, interviewed, and got. Ever since then, I had a freelancing job that I did interview for, but that freelancing job, like, I guess like it was like a job, but like, I don't know, it wasn't like what I expected to be getting straight out of my master's program. I thought I was going to go to grad school, I was going to work a part-time retail job, and then after that I would get like a full-time big girl job, big girl salary, big girl benefits, all the things. But nope. I got out of college, out of my master's program, and I was job searching in London. Couldn't find a job in London, was stressed out, was broke. My visa was like expiring, and I had applied for a graduate visa that would allow me to stay there for 2 more years. But like everything just got so overwhelming and stressful that I was like, you know what? I need to leave London. So I left London with a freelancing job and I moved to Australia. And I spent a year living in Australia. And while living in Australia, I was job searching still for jobs in London. I really had like this idea of what I wanted my life to be, and part of my life was like me living in London, me having a big girl job, and that's really what I wanted to make happen, but it just was not happening. Australia was a time where I was like trying to figure out where I was going to go next. Was I going to go back to London, where I left my stuff? Like I literally left London within a 1 week notice, and I thought I was going to, go to my sister's in Australia, rest, and then I would come back to London in a few months and have a job and get my stuff back and settle back into London life. That didn't happen. I was at my sister's for 1 year. She had a baby. I was there to help her. I was job searching for the US as well. And eventually, I kind of helped her out through that cycle of her life. And when she no longer needed me, and I honestly needed to get back to my life and like job search and like really figure out what I was doing in my career, I moved back to the US. So as I'm moving back to the US, I still have this freelancing job, but y'all, I'm making enough, like the money that I'm making from a freelancing job is good enough for Australia, because the dollar is stronger than the Australian dollar. And so I was getting a lot more out of that job at that time. And again, it was a freelancing job. It wasn't like, girl, I got like big girl bills. Like I got grad school to pay for. I got undergrad debt that I needed to pay for. I got credit card debt to pay for. Like that job was enough for me to survive. At some point through that job, like I just got to a point where I feel like I was taking on so much, and I didn't have any certainty of like what my path in life was with that job. I didn't get any benefits, and I like when I moved back to the US, the money that I was making, it just was not enough for me to sustain in the US. And I just kind of felt like that job was in the way. And I was like burnt out from that job too. So I was like, I'm going to leave this job and I'm going to focus solely on job searching. So I moved back to the US in 2024 and I quit that job May of 2025. And since then, I have kind of been like truly unemployed. So I don't know. For me, it's kind of felt like a 2.5 year cycle, almost even 3 years, because I really started job searching like right when I started grad school. So I've just never, ever, ever stopped applying for jobs, like networking with people on LinkedIn. It has been 3 years of me going for trying to find this big girl job that I was apparently not necessarily promised, but like they tell you if you go to school, if you do all the right things, like you should have like a good life. Like you're gonna get a good paying job and you're gonna have stability and you're gonna be financially okay as long as you have some sort of financial literacy. And I just never got that. Like I never got to recover since my master's program. And so it has been a very trying time period. I wrote down a list of everything of like how I felt these 3 years. And again, even though I had the freelancing job, a lot of this stuff I have been feeling for a very long time since my master's program. And so let me just go through my list and kind of explain to you guys like what the journey has been. So the first thing I have on my list with like long-term unemployment is whenever I do get interviews, I feel like a zombie. Like 2 days ago, I was interviewing and I just felt like I was dead inside. Like I felt like I was just kind of like going through the motions of like, okay, yeah, this is what's, this is my about me. This is what I'm interested in. This is why I'm interested in this company. But like, there's like a part of me is dead. Like a part of me is just like so tired. A part of me doesn't have one more interview to give to. A part of me is just over everything. And so, yeah, you interview so much that you just, well, I honestly haven't even been interviewing so much. I think it's more about the disappointment of like what you thought your life would be and just constantly trying to sell yourself to people. Whenever you do have an interview, that makes you start feeling like you're a zombie. And because of that, I feel like my interview skills have gotten so bad. Like, bro, like I even had an interview the other day and I realized that the job that I was interviewing for, like, I was not a good fit for it at all. And I didn't do my research on the job. I didn't prepare. I didn't do anything. I just showed up. And that was, well, the thing is, they did call me like to interview like the day before. And like, I was just like so focused on the fact that I had gotten this interview and like moving and shifting my life around for this interview that I didn't properly prepare. Obviously, there's no excuses. Either way, I was not a good fit for this job. And I just was like, oh my God, like I'm such a horrible interviewer. And then I had another interview and I left feeling like, oh my God, like my interview skills are so bad. Like, and I think also for me, it's because like I'm interviewing in industries that I would have never, ever, ever, ever considered interviewing for. That skill set of me being able to interview across different industries, I just don't have yet. And because I've been interviewing and going back and forth with people, like I've just gotten to a point where I'm so lazy. And not necessarily lazy, but I'm just so drained by everything that I'm not putting in my 100% and I'm not confident. Like, I feel like I'm showing up, I'm going through the motions, but like, there's a part of me that just like, okay, well, this is going to be another interview, you know? So that's how I feel in terms of interviewing. The other thing too is, oh my God, this week I experienced a nervous system shutdown. This is something that I have experienced so many times. And at first I thought it was depression because I was like, I don't feel like this about my life in general. I only feel really low emotionally and shut down and like I don't want to move and I just want to sleep and I don't want to do anything. I only feel like this whenever it's something pertaining to my career. Like my career is the main thing that triggers this. And I've been feeling this since Australia. So like since 2023, I've been going through these cycles of where I just don't want to do anything. I literally like can barely brush my teeth, can barely shower, don't want to get out of bed. I'm like sleeping during the day most of the time. I yeah, and I thought it was depression, but then I looked more into it, and apparently it's like your nervous system shutting down. And I've noticed that my nervous system shuts down each time that I have my hopes up really high for a job, or each time I have like momentum and it feels like something's about to happen and it doesn't happen. That's when every single time that has happened, my nervous system has shut down, and I've gone into like a 1 week period where I'm like in hibernation, and it's just like, I really can't take this anymore. I can't take interviewing again. I don't want to apply for jobs. I don't like, I feel directionless. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And instead of like going crazy and going harder, I don't have it in me to give anything to it. So I'm just gonna like sit down, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna not apply link to jobs, I'm not gonna network, like I'm not gonna do anything. And I felt that this week, and I think what had happened was because I haven't been interviewing a lot. Like I'll go through like a dry period and then I'll interview like maybe for 1 or 2 jobs. This past week I was interviewing for 3 jobs, and then one was like an informational for a role that was coming up next month that they were gonna open up. And so it was like back to back interviewing, rejections. And I feel like I just got to a point where I was like, okay, like the jobs that I thought I would get, I didn't even get. Like I didn't get the job, the $16.50 per hour job at Pilates, or I didn't get that retail job that I thought I had in the bag. Like I can't even get a retail job. I can't even get like a simple customer service job. And yeah, like it was back to back to back. And by the end of it, I was just tired. I was just overwhelmed. I was like, I need a break. I need to slow down. I need to stop. And now I have a word for it. It's a nervous system shutdown, and it's usually triggered by a traumatic experience. And in my job search, each time something traumatic has happened, each time I thought I was going to get something and I didn't get it, it's taken a week for me to recover. And yeah, you could be like, I need to regulate better. It's the fact that like I'm going through periods where I'm like not hearing anything for months at a time, and then I'm hearing something, and then maybe I'm interviewing back to back with like 1 or 2 companies, and like that goes nowhere. That's what causes me to really just like feel defeated, because you kind of like, when you're interviewing for a job, like you start kind of building up your life, you start seeing your life in a new way that maybe you've never even thought about it before, or maybe you kind of start seeing glimpses of like your old life coming back, because if you get this job, you start planning what you would do with the money and like all these things, and like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to move to this city, or oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this, and like you start planning your life around this job. And so when you don't get it, it's like it's a bummer. But sometimes it's like you don't even plan too much. Sometimes it's just like, okay, well, at least I'm gonna be able to breathe. Like I'm gonna be able to feel like I have my head above water and I'm not sinking. And when that doesn't happen, even when you have the littlest of expectations, it can really impact you emotionally. And I think it's just like something normal. When I go through these nervous system shutdown periods, I just let myself feel the feelings. Like I let myself be in the emotions and just get through it. Like I can't fake it. I can't put myself out of it. And I know that it's like usually triggered by something, and I'm going to get on the other side of it. But it's something that's real, and it does happen. And if you've experienced it, it's probably that. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, am I depressed? I've just never really dealt with depression. But I think for me, career has always got me so close to it, like so close. I think it can turn into depression if like you stay in that period for a few weeks. For me, it usually lasts about like a week. Has it ever lasted 2 weeks? I feel like it's always been like a week, and then like I slowly start doing little things to get back on track. So my next point is grieving who you used to be and what you used to spend on. Like the version of you that could get your nails done, the version of you that can restock on your makeup, that could afford certain things, that could buy clothes, that could go out, that could date, that could, afford a certain gym membership or afford a certain hobby, be able to travel. Like you do grieve that version of you. Let me have a drink of my tea. I haven't got my nails done in 2 years. My clothes, like whenever I get dressed to go out, my clothes, I'm like, I'm so tired of wearing these clothes. Like I've been wearing the same clothes. Yeah, I've added like new pieces here and there, but like it's not as frequent, and my closet just feels so stagnant and I don't feel inspired to get dressed up and do things. My makeup is old as hell. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna break me out each time I put it on. And even when I do kind of restock on something, like I could only realistically restock on like one thing at a time. Travel, like you can't even think about travel. The last trip I did was like last year in Houston, but I really shouldn't have done that trip. When I was in Australia, I used to have to leave the country a lot to reset my visa, and I would go to like Bali, and that was like really affordable. So that was a time where I traveled, where I really couldn't afford to travel, but I had to reset my visa. But yeah, like you really do grieve. Like sometimes I might see a girl like and her nails is done. I'm like, oh my god, when was the last time I got my nails done? I can't even afford to get skincare. I could barely afford to get skincare. I do replenish on some things, but literally like right now I can't afford to buy a sunscreen. And I always used to wear sunscreen. Like every single day I would wear sunscreen, and now that's something that's not even a part of my routine. I've literally needed a new mascara for the past few months. I've needed a new concealer for the past few months. Like these are the things that used to bring joy into my life, and honestly, it was just like normal things. Like I just restock and I just get this and that. I can't even do that anymore. Yeah, and the thing about too is like I work in the beauty industry before, and so a lot of that stuff like I used to get through work, like my concealers, my foundations, my mascaras, like I used to get so much through work, and I just miss that era of life. Like I just grieve that, and I want that girl back, but it's like she's gone. Stephanie's gone. What do you say? Is it Jessica? It's gone. Jessica's no longer here. She's not here. The other thing too, because of like, you know, you have to spend your money very strategically. I have two friends that I hang out with, catch up with, and I only have the capacity to like be friends with those two people. I can't imagine having more friends. I can't imagine maintaining other friends. I just can't. I can't even make space to be friends with more people. I just can't. I see my two friends every other month, and we hang out, and then I see them like the next month, like in 2 months again we'll see each other. But yeah, like I cannot maintain more than two friends. Sometimes like in order for us to hang out, like I have to plan it in ahead. I have to either, because sometimes I pick up like retail shifts, or like one time I was doing like warehouse shifts. Like I've done things that I never thought I would ever do in my life, but sometimes I'll do like odd jobs in order to be able to catch up with them. But yeah, again, it's like a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, because it is good for me to like go out sometimes and like catch up with people and like not be so stuck in this unemployed thing. But the other side of hanging out with them, it's like, oh, when I show up, I have to tell them like, yeah, I'm still job searching. Like we've been having the same conversation for the past year, like actually like few years at this point. But before I wasn't living here, so I didn't have to like catch up with them. Like a catch up with them session with them will be like a phone call. Now it's like we show up in person, and it's like so much more pressure for me to just kind of like, sometimes I feel like I have to over explain myself. And I don't want to feel like the loser friend, but like sometimes it does kind of feel like that. But I know that I'm just like in a cycle. I'm in a time in my life, and I just hate how long it's gone on for. The thing about the long-term unemployment, it's not even like, oh, you're not trying hard enough. It's like no matter how hard you try, no matter who you connect with, no matter what referral you get, like no matter what project you do in addition to like the job application, it feels like that job is never gonna come. It never comes. It's not even like a feeling. It's like it just does not come, you know? And so I think like that's the thing. It's like some people might think like, oh, you're not trying hard enough. Honey, it's not about not trying enough. It's that I'm trying and I'm getting burnt out, and then I'm going into a depressive episode, and then it's like that cycle over and over again 10 times, you know? It's draining. Like it is so freaking draining. And then the other thing too that I've been thinking about lately is the difference between being positive, like staying positive in this time of your life, and like having hope. Like sometimes I try to tell myself like, just be positive, just say your affirmation, do this, do that, and like things are gonna change. But honestly, I'm so tired of like faking it, like faking to be happy, faking to be positive, faking that, oh my god, like this positive part of my life is finally gonna come through for me. I feel like positivity it can be toxic in this era of life, and some people might tell you, to be positive, but like that, like I remember I was like in therapy, and like I literally had to dump my therapist because she was not helping, and she was basically telling me like you need to say your affirmation, you need to be positive, you need to think about this and not think badly about things, and I was just like, girl, like you gave me third grade advice on this, and I know that, okay, in a practical situation, be positive, but when you've been going through it for a few years and like being positive hasn't done anything for you, it's so hard, because I feel like being positive kind of like overlooks the negative aspects of my experience, like what I'm truly going through in this era of my life. Like faking it, being positive, it's just not a true representation of what the past few years have looked like. I think the best way for me to like, stay maybe in a more positive mindset is having hope. Hope is acknowledging that you've gone through things, that this hasn't been easy, but you're still maintaining that small glimmer of hope, even if it's small sometimes, and then even sometimes it can be big because life could feel like it's opening up, even if it closes back up. But I feel like hope is a better representation of like how I feel right now. Positive is just putting out a whole bunch of fake emotions that I genuinely don't agree with and do not feel. And hope it shows the duality in my experience, because you don't want to be super negative. Like you don't want to be so stuck in your circumstance that there's nothing that can help you keep on going. Like you need to grab onto something, and I just can't grab onto positivity, but I can grab onto hope. I don't know if that makes sense, but when you're in this era of life, you question everything. Like you question so much. I'm not the person that I was when I started my job search. I have changed so much as a person. My goals in life have changed. My ambitions have changed. I'm just like, I've questioned a lot. I've changed my mind about where I wanted to be, what I wanted to see myself. When I first graduated grad school, I was just going to get a job back into the beauty industry, got like a cute little marketing job, maybe in social media marketing, and like, had a cute little corporate era, probably moved to New York, moved out of Colorado. But now I'm just like, oh, what am I gonna do next? Like I barely know if I want a corporate job, because I'm like, I can't get one. Like, am I even meant for the corporate life? And if I'm not meant to be in like corporate or in marketing, in beauty, what am I meant to do? So I do feel like because you do question everything, you have no option but to try different paths. And for me, I've been applying to jobs I never thought I would do, have done short-term shifts at places that I never thought I would be working at, like at a warehouse. That was like one of the most intense, like a little bit traumatizing era. But the thing about it is like the warehouse shifts do be paying. Like they'll pay you a cute little penny that you can, maintain over the month. So like one shift can last you a few weeks of money. And so I'm not like anti it. Like if I need it, I'm gonna get it. But it is traumatizing, and it makes you respect people who are immigrants, not skilled workers that have no option but to work those jobs because they be working so hard. Like the woman that I was working next to when I was working the warehouse jobs, bro, I'm like, they are working 10 times better than me. Like they are making me like, oh my God, why am I not pushing myself as hard as them? But like they have so much to prove, this have so much that they want out of their lives. And for me, it's just like I'm just here for the moment. And so I really appreciate that. I worked at a HelloFresh warehouse. I'm never gonna buy HelloFresh. Sorry. Like I'm never gonna buy. Like no, the amount of like, because you just kind of see the systematic, the trauma, like everything that just goes into place into like making capitalism run, and then you see everything that's going on in the world, and it's just like, these are the same people that are doing this for you guys, and this is how you're treating them. Crazy, right? So yeah, I definitely feel like you're not the same person, and you become more flexible. You do take a stab at like paths that you've never thought you would do. Like I started working on like my business idea that I've been like sitting on, and but I feel like as much as I do all these things, it's like it's hard to make anything out of anything when you really do need that financial base. Like I can't go into entrepreneurship unless I have like a good stable financial base. So then I'm stuck, you know? So it sucks. The other thing too is that watching other people's lives pass by as like a marker of time. When I was in Australia and had just moved in with my sister didn't have a baby. She wasn't even thinking about being pregnant. And then I moved there, and in the 1 year that I'm trying to decide, am I gonna live in London? Am I gonna live in Australia? She was pregnant for 9 months. She gave birth to the baby. The baby turned 1 last year. The baby is now walking. She's now speaking. And I know I'm not trying to compare myself to a baby, but I'm just saying, like, seeing my niece grow up and like walk and run and all these things, it just like is a reminder of like, whoa. I was in Australia last year, a few years ago, 2.5 years ago at this point. And I was there with my sister, and my sister wasn't even think about a baby. Like she didn't have a baby on her mind. And now like my niece exists and I'm still in the same place. They came to visit us last summer, and I was still in the same place. Like I was watching her crawl. Like literally, I remember one day she tried to like attempt to crawl, and I had a video of it. And then like 2 weeks later, she was like already crawling and like running around the house. And obviously, babies at that stage, they grow so fast. So like you are seeing them go through so many stages really quickly. So, but I think seeing her like walk now, she's like in daycare and all the things. I'm just like, bro, I'm still stuck. To be fair, again, I'm not the same person that started this journey. Like I've changed so much. It's just a lot of my change and growth has been internal. Like my external world feels like it's been frozen. So much so that like, you know, earlier I said I am not making new friends. I'm also not dating. Like, yo, I'm not dating. Like I think I dated once in this period, and we were both unemployed. It was bad, y'all. Like, and then I think I dated another guy who had like he had a good job and he had like some money. We went on a date, so we didn't really date. We went on a date, and that was the last time that I had Hinge on my phone. Like I deleted it. So I just kind of feel like I have so much resentment towards this era of my life, because I feel like it's really robbing me of so much. Like this is supposed to be the prime of my 20s. I started this period of my life when I was 26. I'm about to turn 29 this year. That's a good chunk of my 20s where I'm not making a livable wage. Like I've not made enough money to even like pay off any of my debts. I've been struggling. I've been either having my head above water just a little bit or straight up drowning. And it's been very, very depressing. And I know one day when I'm no longer in this time, I'm going to look back and I'm going to be grateful for certain aspects. And that's where the positivity will come up a little bit more. But right now, my life is like, I can see the positives, but I'm mainly seeing the negatives. Like I'm mainly seeing the negatives. It's hard to get out of it. And I'm not trying to make this video to bring anybody's spirit down. I'm just trying to be extremely, 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 extremely honest, because people are going through this, like especially Black women, like our unemployment rate is at the highest. Like I think we're the most unemployed demographic. And so I want to share my experience because yeah, when I'm on social media, I see so many people that are like, I've been unemployed for the past 2 years. I've been unemployed for this long. Like this is real life. This is real life. And I want to document my experience. I've been documenting it through the vlogs. You guys have, if you watch my vlogs, like you've seen me go up and down and like just experience this cycle and be very vulnerable. But yeah, this video was just kind of talking about all the things. The other thing too is like I live with my parents. I can only imagine anyone who's going through this cycle and like you live by yourself and you are having to do extremely odd jobs, whether it be Uber or maybe you're working the warehouse shifts. I saw one girl that was working warehouse shifts as well, or maybe you had to get a part-time job at McDonald's or Walmart or whatever that is, whatever it is, the case is. I can only imagine, because like you resent like the era, you also resent your degrees. Oh my god, do you know how many times I like, sometimes I'm like, do I need to take off my master's degree off of my resume? I also have like a resume where like I don't have my master's, and I'm pretty sure I might also, either if I don't have my bachelor's degree on there, I do consider taking it off, because I've had interviews where they realize that, oh, you went to college? They're like, oh, you went to college? Never mind, you're not getting this job because you're going to use us and you're going to leave. So I feel like these degrees that they push us to get so much, they also are the reason why like you really do be going through the trenches when you're unemployed, because employers, like they're looking for people who are going to stay long term. They're not looking for someone who's going to work there for a few months and leave. They barely want to hire college students. So why would they want to hire you when you got 2 degrees and as soon as the job market turns, you're going to be the first one gone? They don't want you. But yeah, on to the point of living with my parents though, I'm so grateful. I remember those few months when I was living in London, I was on my own, I was struggling, and I could barely afford to eat, barely could afford my personal care items. Like I'll be on my period, like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this last $2 that I got to get my pads and get like some rice and beans and cook and have a little something to eat. Oh my god, that final month in London was so traumatizing. Like I had an amazing 11 months, but that final month, or amazing 12 months, but the 13th month, 1 year and 1 month mark, that was like the worst time of my life. That was the brokest I've ever been. That was the most hungry I've ever been. But also that was like the hungriest I was ever at, like trying to get a job. Like I was doing informationals, meeting with people, getting referrals, going to the offices and trying to talk to someone, and doing projects for brands and like trying to send them the project, and like filming presentations of me kind of like showing them an innovative campaign that they can use and see if that's enough for them to be like, oh, this girl have initiative. Like I was doing so much, but I was the brokest. I was mentally down. And in this post London, like Australia and being back in the US, like I'm so grateful for my family. To be honest, my family has been the least to question me. Like my mom is like, okay, she's struggling, but my mom is not on my ass every day like, you need a job, She's really not. She's like, okay, cool, like hopefully you get a job soon. And but my mom, like she really helps me out a lot. Like I try my best to like take care of myself financially by working the odd jobs, but my mom will be like, okay, well, if you need like money for your bills, like let me know, I'll give it to you. If you need money for gas, like don't ever pay for gas, like I'm gonna pay for gas. So I'm super grateful for that. And I live under my parents' roof. I don't pay their bills, and like, I can eat. I have a roof over my head. I'm not stressed. I'm not couch hopping, which I was in London. So as much as I hate being 28 and back with my parents, and as much as I resent this cycle, I think that's the one positive aspect of my life that I'm super grateful for. But yeah, y'all, long-term unemployment will take you through the trenches. Like it will take you. It is such a hard time. Like I'm making this video, but even as of now, I don't know what is next for me. Like I genuinely don't know. I don't know what's in store. I don't know if it will ever look like anything that I've experienced in the past. I don't know if I will ever live up to what I thought my life was going to be. And I know that sounds negative, but like, like you're in your late 20s, life starts getting serious. You start doing things that you wouldn't do otherwise so that you can have stability. And so I don't know who I'm going to become next. I don't know when the job comes. I don't know when my life takes a turn. But I just pray that 2026 is not another year of this. I genuinely don't know if I have the mental capacity to survive another year of hearing no. Like I need some yeses. And I'm praying that for you and for us, that we start hearing yeses, and that God starts offering us some guidance into like the next stage. Like anyone who's in this like transition era and you've been in it for so long and like it's stagnant, it sucks, it's emotionally draining, your nervous system is shutting down constantly. I just pray that we get some type of guidance and some type of direction into what we're meant to do next. If you resonate with anything that I said, please comment below. Like I want to see if it's just me that's going crazy or if other people are also struggling. And if you have gone through this but are on the other side, let us know. Tell us your success stories. What happened? What changed? When did you hear your first yes? Like what shifted? Was it a mental shift? Was it that like you just needed to do something completely different? Did you move countries? Did you move countries? What did you do? I don't know, but let me know. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you have questions about this, comment below and I will answer them, or I'll make a follow-up video. But I'll see you guys in a vlog. I have a vlog coming up. I post a weekly vlog every week. This week's vlog is gonna go live on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. What day is it gonna be? Let me check. March 10th, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Tuesday, March 10th. That's gonna be my next vlog. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.